Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, January 6th, the feast day of the Epiphany, or Little Christmas, or Three Kings Day, through Saturday, January 12th, 2019. Beginning quickly with just a couple other things that'll be going on besides our love lives. Starting with January 5th, the day before this reading at 8:28 p.m., the new moon and partial solar eclipse in Capricorn. January 6th, the first day of this reading, at 3:26 p.m., Uranus goes direct in Taurus, and it will remain in Taurus for about 8 years. Although, I don't know, it may have transits, I'm sure it will, different places. But for the most part, it will be in Taurus for like the next 8 years. And I've talked about that previously when it first went into Taurus. January 7th, 6:18 a.m., Venus enters Sagittarius. January 9th, 4:33 p.m., Jupiter will be sesquiquadrate Uranus. And that's it on that. Also, on the 7th, additionally, is the beginning of the Hebrew and Islamic months as well. Discuss all of this in more detail in the general reading, of course, as always. Going to the dice and begin with party. Many of us are celebrating. I posted a little video, about like 1 minute video, which was Tony anniversary, in recognition of my anniversary, because I stay in bed. And email. For those of you who didn't see it, in 2017, I was driving to pick up my daughter from school, and my Divine Masculine and I were in separation. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm on my way to the school, and all of a sudden I hear, this was the day before our anniversary, and all of a sudden I hear the beginning of that song, Anniversary by Tony, which starts, tomorrow will come. Wait a minute, I just lost the lyrics, and I know them by heart. Oh yeah, tomorrow will come, and girl, I can't wait, it's our anniversary. And when I heard it at that time, back in 2017, I was like, oh crap, like it really is our anniversary tomorrow. And so I pulled up my phone and I recorded it and I uploaded it for you guys. And this week, the day before our anniversary, again, at the same time of day, although I was driving somewhere else, but I was driving again. I was going to get gas around 3:30 in the afternoon. And I just started singing along. It took me a second to realize what song was playing. And I'm out loud in my car. I'm by myself. I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way. Like, what are the chances? What are the odds of this happening again? So I posted that. And then come to find out, a few of you are celebrating birthdays. Or some of the feminine told me that they're Divine Masculine, it was his birthday. And I heard of some other anniversaries. So I said, oh, maybe, January 4th is a special day to mother and father. I don't know why. Maybe the 14th, the 1 from the January and the 4 from the day equals 14 is representative of father, right? He was cut into 14 pieces when he was murdered. I don't know, or maybe something that I missed as far as the historical events, but I'm going to try to figure out what the pattern or event is that makes this day so special. Because clearly it means something to them, or at least it's clear to me that it means something to them this day. Anywho, the dice, yes. Weekend away. And 29, which is spiritual partnership. So I had my numerology deck out for the general reading, and I decided not to use it at the last minute. I said I'd probably bring it back for love, so that's what I'm doing. Love partnership was actually the feminine's, one of the feminine's advice cards from the general reading, but I shuffled again, and here it is. So we're starting with this energy and opening to happy ending. So maybe where something was struggling as part of a love partnership, it works out. Maybe there was a delay or a miscommunication, but all's well that ends well. it may involve needing to change your environment and to instead surround yourself with people, places, and things that better resonate with your vibration. And getting rid of some of the things that don't may have been part of karmic completion. In the general reading, I read about what it means for Venus to have entered Sagittarius this week, or it enters this week, and what it means for Mercury to have entered Capricorn. And those transits did involve like ridding ourselves of things, particularly the Venus and Sagittarius, ridding ourselves of, people, places, and things that don't fit our vibration anymore. And Uranus in Taurus certainly does. We're going to have a while to work on that and ourselves. It's also about working on yourself in great deal. Exercising, changing your eating habits, changing your financial habits. I had predicted at the time that people would really move toward like Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff over the next few years. That's what I was feeling at the time that I did the reading. I'm going to try to look it up. I said this in the general too. And like link it below if anybody wants to hear what I said about Uranus and Taurus at the time. 11, individuality. Opposite 44, just kind of cool because it's together it's like 55 and change, or 55, 5 plus 5 equals 10 equals 1. New beginnings, which is also change. Individuality. And creativity, which we've been seeing quite a bit of. I can't tell you how many times 3s showed up in the reading. And this year, 2019, is a 3 universal energy for the year. 2019 equals 3. 3 is also the house that Gemini represents, the house of communication in the tarot. I mean, in the zodiac. And 2, patience. I'll do one more. It's 14, moderation. So I was talking about 14 a moment ago. I think this is a good place to stop. And 88, abundance. Card did jump out as I was shuffling. It was card number 27, spiritual partnership. But the overall energy is card number 81, which also equals 9, like the 27, leadership. Divine feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Himself. And the union as a whole this week with regard to love. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender toward the union this week, what he himself is willing to, and what the universe would have the 2 of them to do, but they will have to affirm, commit to doing it for that full support of the universe and the outcome. Divine feminine. Synchronicity. Boy, has my synchronicity, but I just told you about the song. It's been like off the chain. But looking at card number 87, a little while ago, I posted a picture of, it was a screenshot of my phone with 6s everywhere. One of which was made up by an 87, right before I did this reading. So I think you guys should also, the other feminine among me, pay attention to the syncs, the signs, the sounds, songs, maybe even things like you read and stuff this week. Particular attention for the, additional messages that come forth. The masculine as it relates to the feminine this week, and it is individuality. Individuality. I want to figure out how to say this, how to say what I'm seeing. This is about, I'm just going to move the cards. I didn't realize that they weren't all in frame as I talk about this. This is about the masculine as it relates to the feminine, or with the feminine in mind, or both, wanting to live in his truth, basically. Be his true individual self. Stop trying to be like part of the group and go with the, go with the majority. It's about, I'm seeing it so much better than I feel like I'm relaying it. Stop trying to force himself, where he doesn't fit. Stop trying to force himself to live in a way that is not befitting of him, that is not representative of his truisms and his reality. Living a fake life, all of the above, everything I just said. And maybe, particularly those of you who do watch the general, you'll get a better understanding of what it is I'm trying to convey, because this actually came up. There was a lot of repeat cards, and I used two tarot decks, and more than once, like the same cards came out in like the same placements and stuff, or similar placements, all supporting this need for the masculine to drop any fake life, or listening to other people that he's being misguided, misled by people that don't really have his best interest at heart, or that are maybe being selfish. So they're directing him to do things that are be pleasing to them, but are not necessarily pleasing to him or pleasing to the feminine, and perhaps that things that keep the two apart. And it's just time to stop. It's just time to stop. The masculine, as it relates to himself, like, his feelings about himself right now, teaching and learning. So this is very much like a Hierophant kind of card, as well as a Hermit kind of card. Hierophant, I say, because the Hierophant is very, very much about spirituality and the need to spend time around other people with whom you align, as opposed to people that you don't. Or people from whom you can learn something, like of a higher vibration than your own, from whom you can truly learn something. But also the Hermit, because the Hermit is about potentially you being both the teacher and the student of yourself and of your life, and doing some really serious introspection and figuring out, who you are as an individual. Who you are as an individual. What are your desires? What are your goals? What are your dreams? It's also about enlightenment, so that enlightenment is learning something too, right? If you have an aha moment, it's like because you've learned something. It's like, oh, I get it now. A light bulb just went off. So all of those types of energies, it may be representative of very earth energy, like the Hierophant, it represents the sign of Taurus. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. So those could be coming into play in particular, and especially with this green Merkaba right here in the center. So very representative of Earth. And the union as a whole from the masculine perspective. Ooh, time out. He may need a break in some cases. Perhaps because he is dealing with these things. And maybe that's why he wants particularly the feminine to understand that he's trying to become his true self. And, maybe that'll take him a minute. And he's working on some things, some changes in his life. That may be why she's receiving so many synchronicities as well. Because perhaps he's not physically as present or communicative as he, had been or otherwise would be. Also, this is about spending time together. It's also about time out and, about and enjoying life and having a good time. And 37 equals 10 equals 1. It's about, fresh starts and new beginnings too. overall, change. Yeah, that's appropriate. Change. I think that speaks for itself enough. What the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union this week. Communication. So to being open to communication, and that doesn't necessarily mean verbal. Okay, I just want to, emphasize that this too is communication. Open to communication, and maybe to being the one that actually reaches out, and not waiting for him to do it. Or maybe you're stronger, maybe his pride or his ego or his fears won't let him, but you're stronger. You're more capable this week. And so you can do it. But at least if your phone rings or your email goes off or your text or whatever, to be receptive and open to receiving the communication. Or, you see the signs and synchronicities to know, that he's there and it's him. And I just want to point out that we have, the sixes that I was talking about too. So again, 87 equals 6, 33, master number 33 also equals 6. And we have them here one underneath the other. What the masculine himself willing to, do toward the union this week. Yeah, work on his pride, surrender his pride. Didn't I just mention this a second ago? That you might be stronger right now than he is. Yeah. Boom. What the universe would have the two do. But they will have to affirm to it. Ooh, parenting. This also is about new beginnings, though. It's like fertile energy, like the Empress. Now, for some, I'm sure it is literal, and like with the Empress, with this card showing up, if you've been trying to get pregnant, I'd say that this is a good time if you've been working on it. Or some of us could be learning this week that we are, with child. But for those to whom that doesn't apply, this is still about fertile energy and fresh starts and new beginning and abundance, growing something together, creating something together, co-creating, and then growing it, raising it, building it, and the outcome. Boom. It leads to abundance of whatever. Maybe a bundle for some people, again, of joy, but abundance in one form or another for everybody. And the hashtag creepy deck, speaking of communication, that's the energy with which we're beginning, communication. And this could be also representative of that Uranus in Taurus. Uranus and Aquarius, the sign that it rules, they rule communication in the area, particularly of technology. So some of us can be doing like some FaceTime, maybe even texting and stuff, or emailing, or Skype and all that kind of stuff. Online dating, maybe. And opening to brunette female, which is a very karmic energy for me, feminine energy in this deck. Can be a real person, and where she is, likely an actual female. And then even further to that, a Cancer or a Leo, or like a Leo Cancer cuspian sometimes. And this fair male is the karmic masculine energy for me in this deck. And he is a Capricorn. It's like the devil card in the tarot. And this, if it's not an actual person, it can represent like restriction and feeling stuck. Not necessarily actually being stuck, but feeling stuck. This week, the moon, which that Cancer card, the karmic female, she could have been here to represent the moon. The sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. It will be in Capricorn, as is Mercury and the sun. Fair male and wallflower. Pluto might be there too, actually, in Capricorn. Wallflower is about being presented with a free will choice. maybe to get out of a feeling of being stuck or a situation that you feel you're stuck in. An opportunity arises for you to remove yourself from it. But you have to, it requires your free will, your conscious decision as to whether or not you're going to sit it out and miss the opportunity, or you're going to get up and dance and engage and, like, you know, face it. And this card, Wallflower, often also tends to represent the sign of Capricorn for me. Capricorn, Scorpio, or Gemini, because those are the three signs that come through for me as the type of people that would be at a party sitting in out, like, not want to be bothered. You know, like, you're cool enough to be invited, but you kind of wish you kind of rather be home. So you're just, you know, there. Uh-oh. Gossip. Maybe it's connected to those two that we just saw. I'm just going to stick it in here arbitrarily. All right. But we otherwise came to Passion, which is a very Two of Wands type of card. So you can see why it's all fiery, like the element of fire and wands. And there's the two people in a very tight embrace. The Two of Wands in the tarot is representative of divine unions or twin flame relationships. And is about building, you know, because we started to manifest something with a new start with the Ace of Wands, right, with the 1. And so when we're up to 2, something is coming together for us. Overall energy is karma, but they did also show me that true love was right underneath it, and perhaps like right through that open door. Divine being or couple. So whether you're singled or partnered. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to your progress or union, what the feminine can do, like to help herself, what the masculine can, what the universe recommends to the two, but again, they would have to affirm to it, and the outcome. Divine being, new love. It's a fresh start. So whether you're single, you could be meeting somebody this week and some, you know, sparks fly, or for couples, fresh energy for us too. Recent past. This energy of being stuck and feeling controlled, maybe negative cords of attachment to somebody or something. Near future, open relationship. So again, living how you want to, out in the open, out loud, crossing the new love. Masculine's higher self. Blonde female, which is a representation for me of the divine feminine in this deck, right? She's actually a redhead, and I get that fire from her, sort of Queen of Wands or a younger version. But yeah, she's the divine feminine for me. So that's where his higher self is at, or his higher consciousness. That's his focus. Blocks. Young male. For some, this is a child. This is like their son or something. I don't know what the deal is with the son. I mean, I guess that would be different for everybody. I don't want to say somebody's child is in the way, because that doesn't even sound right. But like somebody's having to take care of their son and maybe not knowing how to incorporate a relationship and needing to figure that out. For some. For others, this is the masculine's need to still like finish breaking away from some of these cords and like live life like youthful and free. You know, see this guy's got his top down and, you know, he's on the open road. Just, yeah, out in the open. going with the flow. So for some, this is what this is about. Like they're still a little bit tied up. And for some, the age difference might be bothering them. Like in like a May-December relationship. It might be bothering them, or it might be bothering people around them, and they're still listening, you know. And that might be why that gossip card turned up a moment ago too. Sort of left the rest of the deck and was laying on the table. What the feminine can do, again, communication. So same placement. The first from this spread from the perspective of the masculine. This one from the perspective of the universe. Still, the feminine's job this week is communication. So again, being receptive to receiving it and to initiating it. What the masculine can do, work. And this too has a Capricorn energy for me. A lot of cards in this deck do. I'm realizing it myself now. But you guys that have watched me all the time, you know that that's true. And it's also, yeah, it's about putting effort toward what you want so that you can get an outcome. Like how, when we work, we're working for a reason. The outcome is, you know, the money that we make, the salaries, our wages to sustain us. So what you want in the areas of love, you got to work toward that too. And where you're feeling hemmed up, or like somebody's got you like a puppet, and you want to cut those strings, you got to work on that too. Where you're feeling a little uptight and, you know, not ready to let your hair down and be youthful, you got to work on that. Where you're worried about what other people think about you, and you got a problem because you're younger than your girlfriend or your boyfriend, or they are, you know, significantly younger than you, then you got to get over your own hang up, you know. And be ready for open relationship. You're going to have to work toward that, whatever it is. If there is something going on with somebody's son, and maybe they're hemmed up with the child's other parent, or, you know, some sort of family situation, then they're going to have to work on that, put their energy there. Which takes us back to time out for the masculine too. That some of them need a break and they need some space to work on some stuff. What the universe would have the two do, but they're going to have to affirm to it. And it is mature woman. So spiritual growth, basically. And maybe not the divine feminine. I mean, I again, she's not like queen age as it relates to the tarot here. But this is my representation. But this one is sort of like, she's grown up. She's grown up. So it's like about how we react to stuff. And again, for some of the masculine, this has to do like with like your son's mother too. You know, there's more than one meaning. It's crossing the control, has to do with the young male. Again, for some, this is about the feminine perhaps being older than the masculine and how that looks, you know, and can we be out in the open, you know. Again, that's up to you. That's your own hang up. So you're going to have to work on that, work on your own issues. And the universe is saying, however it applies to you, I will help you if you first commit to going after what it is you want. To doing the work, basically, to take us back to this. And the outcome. Short-term break, delay, heartache, time out. This is basically time out also. So we'll see what happens. You might be able to find out more about what's going to happen in the next spread. That was like to be continued. But I had forgotten for the moment, I guess, that the overall energy was karma. So that makes sense. Having to deal with a karmic issue toward a karmic lesson. That also explains the growth. What I was getting about the feminine and the masculine. No, that was for both of them. Like having grown up. The next spread I'm going to begin with the Ace of Summer. So also about new beginnings that are emotionally fulfilling. And this could also be about the spiritual growth too. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love. So like I said, for the singles, we could be meeting somebody and, you know, sparks fly. Or it's the rebirth of a current relationship. People that could be getting back together, maybe couples that are in separation, or, you know, the relationship has been a little stagnant. It will be deepening. Or it can be the awakening of further spiritual gifts and insights. So coming into some sort of enlightenment that is also refreshing to you. And opening to the Ace of Spring also. I talked about that one wand. Somebody could be getting the wand, if you know what I mean. Also, a wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise. This could be unexpected love that shows up for you. But you'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. Or again, if love is returning, that could be completely unexpected too. So be mindful of your reaction. Be mature woman. Don't be little girl. Ace of Summer. And again, be open to the communication as, you know, for the feminine. That's to the feminine. Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes and seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. Four of Autumn. The Seven of Spring. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. Something pretty cool happens with this card in the general reading as it relates to the masculine. Four of Autumn and the Four of Summer. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. So like, don't allow yourself to miss out on like the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands because you are being wallflower and sitting it out. Four of Autumn. And it's the Prince of Autumn. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. The Prince of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Overall energy is the Five of Winter, and I can't tell you how many times this card showed up in the general reading. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. Those were like the fake friends and even family members that don't necessarily mean you well. They may have their own selfish intentions and agendas. Crowning the masculine, it is Major Arcana card 3, the Empress, which I think showed up in this exact placement in the general reading as well. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. So again, fresh, fertile, new energy. Perhaps something having to do with a third party. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that is possible, especially since we're talking about the love reading. There could be an issue or something going on that is impactful upon his life right now and him and his ability to, you know, effectively, excuse me, be in a relationship. Maybe having to do with his mother or the mother of his children. or they could be expecting too. Also about the energy of co-creation. Masculine is surrounded by major arcana card, the Tower. Important changes are coming into your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. So this is calling for him to change his current course also. And not necessarily for, negative reasons. This could be for, sometimes the Tower is super awesome. It's just real energy that comes in really, really quickly and unexpected. So it's neutral otherwise, because it could be good. It can be, something that turns you upside down in a more negative appearing way, at least at the time too. But ultimately, my opinion is whatever the Tower is, in the end, it's a happy ending. It's always good, because it leads, the shakeup it causes. It's like Lord Ganesha, right? He comes through, barreling through and knocks everything down and sort of helps you to rebuild new creative energy. Or Shiva, Lord Shiva, the destroyer, right? He knocks everything down so that it can be rebuilt in a better way. And it's a reminder that it's okay to begin again and to start over, to build something new in a better way. Maybe how you wanted it. It wasn't right the last time. The Empress, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it before, represents the planet Venus, ruler of Libra, Taurus, Gemini. And the Tower for me is representative of Scorpio. It's kind of like death. It's the way that death comes in and clears out whatever energy is existing and brings in something new. Same thing. Masculine subconscious, the Eight of Winter. So feeling stuck in a situation. It's kind of like the Devil, but the minor arcana version. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you affirm your freedom. So the same way he needed to affirm, or we all did, what the universe had planned for us, we needed to affirm that we're down for it. He needs to affirm that he wants his freedom, that he wants to leave this alone and ask for help, and the universe will support. In this placement, it really is in his mind, this feeling of being stuck. And again, it may have something to do with an actual house, an actual tower structure, and maybe with, his mother or the mother of his children. Crowning the feminine, the Queen of Spring, talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. She's also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention all at once, but you can do it. And surrounding the feminine, it's the Five of Autumn, womp womp. Focusing upon the negative or worrying about your money or career or a crappy relationship that you lacked, and fear of abandonment and daddy issues and trust issues and commitment issues and all that kind of stuff will block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to try to start something new, whether it's in business or love. And in the feminine subconscious, very nice. Major Arcana card, the Chariot. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and the recognition that you're receiving. Major Arcana card, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer, and it is about you being in the driver's seat. It can also have something to do with travel or movement, especially where there had been stagnation before, or moving, maybe to a new home or something. It's you being in control of your own life. It's also a card of victory. So like overcoming something. Crowning. The Eight of Autumn. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work And the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. So this is about where you put your energy is where you get your outcome. Just like the work card that showed up in the last spread. And at the root or foundation, it is Major Arcana card Death, crossing the Tower. I told you it's that same kind of energy. If I had used 2 different tarot decks, you know, it probably would have been the same card twice. Major Arcana card Death, number 13. Or release in this deck, it's time to release the past and to move on. So you're supposed to be letting go of these feelings, feminine, of lack and, you know, maybe worthlessness, right? You're not feeling deserving. Just, you have like low expectations or none. And for the masculine, this feeling of being stuck and things not going your way and you can never, you know, move forward, you got to let go of that too. This is also representative of fear, the 8 of Winter. So this says, this ending, right? When you let go of this stuff and you move on to something new, and it's saying move on to something new, and it's sitting here next to the Chariot, which is about that movement. When you move on to something new, that ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So it's allowing for the new beginning. And you see here, there's butterflies representative of Scorpio, at least for me, like metamorphosis, transformation, transition in this card. And then there's also this fertile energy of new with the rabbit. And at the heart of the matter, ugh, this is some serious stuck energy. It is Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil, which represents the sign of Capricorn. You may feel that you're trapped in a situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus on the material or material wealth and to break free of negative thinking. I'm thinking about clarifying these with more tarot cards, but I will first, and we'll see if that's still necessary, do so with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels, beginning with new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings and opening to love yourself first, rather than sitting around feeling stuck or being stuck or chained to somebody, you know, married to somebody or something that you don't want to be. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Love yourself first. And past life relationship. You have known each other before. Oop. Past life relationship. Also separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. That could be connected to the time out and the break, or that short-term pause from the last spread. And it can also be connected to the people, places, and things from which you separate, you know, aside from your romantic interests. And opening to passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Past life relationship. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And let's do one more. Past life relationship again. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Overall energies, again, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Atop the Empress. It is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And so again, they may include somebody very, maybe like very attractive that you feel is like out of your league, or very feminine and accomplished and popular, all the things that Venus represents. And so maybe that's why you're saying, oh, I don't know about this. Or again, older is a possibility too. Like the Empress is not a little girl. You know, she's all woman, as they say. Keep an open mind. She also, again, may be a Taurus, Libra, or Gemini specifically. Atop the Tower. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So you may feel, again, married to something or someone. You may actually be literally, legally married to someone, and feeling like it's not okay to leave. Or maybe you're not married, but you have, you know, children with whoever the Empress is, and you're figuring it's not okay to not remain in that relationship, even if I'm miserable. That's a possibility also. Or again, it could have something to do with your mother, and maybe you feel like it's not appropriate to, you know, you have some sort of responsibility for her or to her. I think this came up in the general too, because I feel like I'm having like a deja vu moment. And so you don't want to neglect any responsibility you have to her. Maybe something having to do with the house. Maybe you maintain the house for her, or, you know, you live with her to make sure she's okay, or something like that. This can also have to do with house of cards you built around yourself, and based on, you know, ideologies and belief systems that need to come crashing down. So, you know, it looks like for some, they absolutely will this week. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Atop the Eight of Winter, that feeling of being stuck is past life relationship. You've known each other before. So yeah, something from your past and or past life is where you're feeling restricted and stuck. For the feminine, atop the Queen of Fire, it is children. Your love life is being affected by children. So for some of us, this is our children. For some, this is the masculine's children. Again, actual Leo or Cancer, or Leo, Cancer, Cuspian could be involved in a karmic situation too. And for others, this children is representative, again, of a new start. So it's sort of like, and it's opposite, it's mirroring the masculine's Empress. It's sort of like the same energy for us, but in this deck. They don't have an Empress in the Romance Angels, so it's like a fresh start in that area. Atop the Five of Autumn and the feeling of lack. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. If there are friends that have the ability to help you to reconnect or to uplift your, you know, with your partner, or to uplift your spirits so that you are prepared to, you know, connect with your partner on your own, or to receive them should they attempt to connect with you, then definitely go for that. Or, you know, my friends are the higher beings that surround me. Wherever your friends, you consider your friends, whether on this plane or another, ask for and accept support from others. Atop the Chariot. Ooh, unrequited love might be a Cancer. We're crowned here by that Leo energy, and at the root here is that Cancer. Unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So this could be something tied to a Cancer, or a Leo, Cancer, Cuspian, for one thing. For others, this is about your own imbalance, you know, and again, it's connected to this feeling of lack too. And so rather than being in the driver's seat, like your relationship with yourself is the one that is having an issue. The chemistry is off, right? Your internal chemistry is off. So again, you need to work on that. Atop the Eight of Autumn and the work that needs to go into something that you are looking for payoff from. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Atop death, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, because perhaps you're letting go finally of an old energy, like this one, feminine for you, where there was a relationship that was lacking, that sucked, and you're holding on to those negative emotions and worry that the new one is going to have the same thing. That's part of what this is about too. If you release that, then you can call in something new. Same thing for the masculine. You release this situation that's holding you back, whether it's just fear or you have something actually going on, and you can call in something new. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations will help bring you together. And at the heart of the matter, atop the devil, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So some of us are really focusing on money and feeling that we don't have enough to move forward, not giving the universe any credit or having any faith that, again, if we just affirm, to commit to what it would have us do, what we've been guided to do, that it will support us in all ways, including financially. That's very important. We have to learn how to get past that part. It's it's not an easy one for everybody, but it's definitely required. These are actual financial issues for a lot of people with the devil and the finances card. And again, it can have to do with someone's family, their parent, the parent of their children, a spouse, former, their actual kids. Like, how am I going to take care of my kids and do this? How am I going to, lead two lives, basically? And again, those are the things that you ask your friends to help you, your friends on other planes, higher planes than your own. After you first affirm, you make a plan and you first affirm to what you commit to do. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I insist on following my heart and doing XYZ. Universe, God, please help me. Continue to show me the way. And typically, it will, if you're serious about it in your affirmation. I'll look at the feminine's unrequited love a little more, though I think it's pretty clear what it is. But let's see what else we can be added. Release your ex. So again, you're holding on to some of you, there's an actual person still lingering, and that that relationship is dead and you just haven't officially ended it. And then some of you are holding on to the old negative emotions and memories, that weren't good, and you're taking that forward with you. So that's what you have to release. That's the X that you have to release. The masculine, I think I'll do the Tower and the religious factors. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So that could be something positive that comes in too, and you're wanting to move on and to move to a higher plane with your partner, and maybe worried about finances as it relates to that. I'll look at the one in the middle too. Let's see what else we can find out about that. Also, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So something may have gone on again with your parents, family issues, all tied into finances and career, or perhaps one's relationship with money, and worries about how their family lived and not wanting to live like that in the future, wanting to give their children something better. All of these things are coming up, and I presume will be dealt with this week as karmic issues. Advice to the masculine from the Animal Tarot is awakening. Major Arcana card 12, the Hanged Man, which is also a pause, a delay, perhaps an air of suspension, a limbo. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted temporarily. Things will soon start moving again. So yeah, look at your situation in a different way. And like what I just described, like from the perspective of what your desires are, what your wishes are, and not necessarily needing to know or have all the answers or know how to make everything come true, but just having some faith and stuff, and moving away from the negative and the fear and other negative emotions that are holding you back, that are those cords of attachment to you. The Hangman represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune. Feminine, the 6th of spring. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. So what this is saying is if we put in the work, we can expect the positive outcome and result. For masculine, parenting is back again. And it's still coming up that, again, it either has to do with him as a parent and there's an issue with his child's mother or children's mother, or there's something going on with his own parents, or maybe both in some cases, and his own mother more specifically. And he's got to deal with that. But also, again, the more positive, there's the fresh energy coming too, and an opportunity to co-create something with somebody that, you know, he loves and wants to build with. Feminine. This is what he wants to build. This is what we all want to build. And again, for some, a bundle. And unfortunately, I think of those, for somebody, you're not a real couple. And that's what this devil and maybe the healing family issues and the finances and the Empress and the Tower and the 8 of Swords, and even the Death are about like somebody getting pregnant or something that maybe it's like a one-night stand, or, you know, like just a thing, and the masculine is miserable, you know, because he's not interested in that woman. So that's for somebody. And that is coming from the fact that Death is crossing the Tower. So one meaning that could mean is like anything that has happened is like intensified. And it can also be like a time of some sort of truth needing to come out. And then the fact that it's sitting here with the 8 of Winter is another card of feeling stuck, trapped. Same thing with the Devil. It's like, and it's more so on his side because he's also the one with the Tower and the 8. It's like he's stuck, or he feels stuck at least, trapped in a situation he's really not interested in, to be honest. For others, it's you know, still maybe not like the neither one maybe completely smitten, but it's like not the worst thing. They're just scared, like how they're gonna figure it out, and it could grow to be something better. And then still for others of us, this, and this is all coming to me from the abundance, this Empress and Devil is just like an intense sexual energy. attraction, very strong attraction. And for others too, the Empress here and the Tower here is like Venus and Mars, both of which are currently in fire signs. Venus entered Sagittarius this week, and Mars entered Aries, which it rules, last week. So very intense, strong, passionate energies. And then with the Devil combined, yeah, this is like, you know, people being like super hot for each other. So for some, that's abundance, you know. That's what they've been waiting for, looking for, just like real, genuine passion. What else is coming from abundance? A turnaround where there is worry about finances and or career or the material. There is this finances and career. There's a turnaround, particularly for the feminine, with abundance showing up. But it will require her to let go, with death sitting underneath it, of any like obsessive feelings about money. Overly focusing on the material, again, as if you can't manifest, or as if you don't have, again, faith in the universe to support you. It's like turning up your nose at the universe instead being, paranoid. All right. Masculine hashtag creepy deck family. So all the meanings that we've gone over so far, for some, genuinely starting a new family or a new commitment. This is another positive energy of 3 about creating, co-creating, maybe an actual person together. And maybe his extended family, including, again, his mother. For some masculine, this could be also talking about the fact that they lost their mother this week or last week when I saw it. Actually, I got a message that same day that a gentleman had lost his mother. Like, it doesn't have to be your actual mother, though. It could be a mother figure, grandmother, and maybe an aunt or something that raised somebody. And so that's where the financial issues and healing family issues are coming into. And then maybe the Tower also, because there could be like inheritance and assets and things involved. And he just can't focus on this right now. Of course, that's not for everybody either. For some, it is about just, focusing on moving forward, new beginnings, maybe actually starting a family. Or just spending time together. And the energy of 3, which again is about abundance and creating manifesting your own abundance, creating your own abundance, and coming up with creative ways to generate abundance in all forms. Feminine, destiny. This is basically what will be. Like, so there is no need. This is furthering the explanation that there is no need for worry about any of this stuff, because what's going to happen is going to happen anyway. What's going to be, what is meant for you will be for you. So why spend time worrying about it? That's more encouragement to just be positive and to let go of these negative emotions that we're holding on to here. And from the romance, oh goodness. It is deception. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So, for some, this is connected to, again, not living the life that they're meant to live and, trying to live for other people and being fake and being phony, fake lives, fake relationships. For others, they have this situation, or like I said, that can't be more than like 1 or 2 people. I would hate to think it was, but they have this situation with this pregnancy with, again, somebody that they're not really attached to, that they don't really have feelings for, or a relationship, an experience, or something that they need to tell you about. Maybe it didn't produce a baby, but something that they got themselves into with third party. I'll further clarify this too, but I already got a few things. We got people not being their true selves. We got somebody that's in a mess here, which is evident, I think, from this. And of course, when you're not being your true self, who you're deceiving most is you, you know. But yeah, we'll pull another card for that too. But for the feminine, despite everything else and the fact that this week can be about some endings in life and love, and about like not being afraid to allow things to end, that need to come to an end, because there's really nothing we can do about it. Again, it is destiny. Very strong karmic energy is at play. Saturn, Capricorn, and you know, the endings are like final. Taurus, which I think rules that that house of endings. And yeah, certain things, they're dead and gone. They will never be the same again. Never be the same again. And so that's a huge focus this week. But again, despite all that, we are supposed to stay optimistic about our love life, because positive thinking and faith, which I've said a few times here already, it is what is going to not only bring us romance, but abundance in general. And now for the masculine. All right, here's the deck. Love yourself first. If I turn it around, that's the next upright card. What's up with the deception? Forgiving and learning, something that an apology is necessary for. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So it's what I was saying, I guess, for the most part. There's a truth that has to be told. For some, it's to himself, first and foremost. He's lying to himself with the fake relationship. And that causes hurt and pain to other people too, namely the feminine. And so that's something to apologize for, and to extend forgiveness for, again, beginning with himself. For others, you know, he's got himself in a little bit of hot water, like a real situation, and is feeling stuck. And in order to free himself, he's going to have to come clean about that too. And there's going to need to be forgiveness and, you know, learning from the karmic experience and then moving on. However we are meant to move on, however we are destined to move on. And that's that. I will be back with the moon reading, which should give us another week's worth of information, maybe connecting some more of this stuff that's going to be happening as a result of that Capricorn energy. But I think this is our love reading. I think I'm going to close this one here. If you enjoyed the video, you got something out of it, you resonated with it, you liked it, you learned from it, whatever, you just thought it was cool, or you just think I'm cool, you just like me, and so you hated the video, but you want to do it anyway because you like me, please actually do it. Click on the like button. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do hit the subscribe button and the bell button. And if you are a subscriber, but you don't get your notifications, because a bunch of you don't, you might want to check your settings. And if necessary, you hit the subscribe button again too, and the bell button. And if that still doesn't work, you may have to contact YouTube. Thank you to my viewers, subscribers, sponsors, both here on YouTube and on Patreon. If you need a service from me, you can reach me at Divine Oneness. Yes, you can reach me at Divine Oneness. That is a page that I have on Facebook. And this weekend, we are starting on the 6th. We are starting a couple of cleanses. We've got one of the admin is hosting a juice cleanse. Some of us are, others of us are doing the master cleanse, which is like a lemonade, It involves some vegetable soup. And we've got challenges and stuff, so it's a good time to jump in on that, especially with Uranus going back to Taurus and going direct. You'll need to work on yourself. So join us on Divine Oneness at Facebook if you're interested. Also, Divine Girl Talk. Girl Talk is in quotes on Facebook. That's a public page. Divine Oneness is a closed group. And if you want to contact me, which is what I meant to say before, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com or Queenofswordsthelightworker@gmail.com or any of my social media. Facebook, Twitter, IG, all of that. All right. I'll be back, guys. Namaste.